Oh, that was close, Will. That was close.
Yeah, we almost had to hear a lot of bad jokes.
We almost had to deal with so many horrible jokes. Not the game. The game was not close. Aaron Rodgers looks great. The Jets kicked the Patriots' ass. But in garbage time, they throw in Drake Maye, and he starts driving down the field. And I was watching, praying, not against Drake. I'm not praying against Drake, but I was praying to God he didn't throw a touchdown pass there. I couldn't deal with it right now. Everybody's saying, "Oh, look, Drake threw a touchdown before Bo Nix and he only played in like 12 snaps." Ha 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 ha. So I was I was really rooting against that happening, and he got it down to the 7-yard line, and then the Patriots had all their timeouts. He took a sack, and in a very classy move, the Patriots just let the clock run out. I think he took 2 sacks in that short amount of time.
Seems low.
He was in for 2 minutes, but yeah, you're right. Nearly threw a pick. But I'm glad the Jets didn't let up, give up a garbage time touchdown, and I'm happy the Patriots just took the time off the clock there. Oh, that was close. That was close. Anyway, this is the That's Good Sports post-game show. I'm Brandon Perna, this is Will Keys, and tonight a very special guest, BenchwarmerBran, will be joining us. We're both named Brandon. We both have ties to Benchwarmer. We both have the same birthday. It is going to be wild. So stay tuned. He'll be hopping in here in just a little while. This Thursday night game for the Jets was basically Aaron Rodgers he looks like he's back. That's the only takeaway from this game, right?
He looks so comfortable. He looked better, I think, than he did in 2022, the last time we saw him with the Packers.
Wow. So you're saying the Packers made a mistake by letting him go?
Yeah, I think so. No, it kind of reminded me of like when Peyton Manning first hit his stride in Denver in 2012. Yeah. You're like, oh, wow, this is what elite quarterbacking looks like.
Yeah. Was that the second half of the Falcons game, basically?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it was kind of sprinkled about in the first few games. And then they went on that winning streak. Kind of felt like the start of that winning streak. But I mean, make no mistake, like Rodgers wasn't necessarily airing it out today, but that was about as good as a quarterback can look in this era of passing.
Yeah. Rodgers, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, 2 sacks. He ran for a first down as well. Took a hit as he went out of bounds. And yeah, you talk about like elite quarterbacking. He just looks comfortable back there. He looks like he has control. There was a play in the game where you could hear what he was saying, and he was just aligning a guy. A guy went in motion. He's like, "No, get back over there and get set immediately." And he snapped the ball and threw it. I was like, "Oh fuck, that's what we all want." It's just
almost hit him with a "goddamn it, Donald."
Yeah, we just want a commander back there. But yeah, he looked. This is his third game. He just looked more comfortable. And I was hoping he would get 300 yards because we just need that. We just need a 300 yard pass.
Yeah, I mean, that's like asking for 600 yards.
Yeah, it really is.
Norm Van Brocklin's record has never been safer.
Yeah. What is his record?
That's like 554.
554 passing yards in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. We haven't sniffed that for a while.
Many have come slightly close.
Yes. On the other side, Jacoby Brissett just 12 of 18 for 98 yards, 0 touchdowns.
That's more like it.
There we go. I feel like this is the game we thought we would get from the Patriots week 1. And this is the game everybody was praying they would get from Aaron Rodgers week 1 last year. And, took a couple games, but Jets fans should feel pretty good about what Rodgers looks like. And the funniest thing, I tweeted about it, but Kirk Herbstreit during the game was like, oh my God, let me just read it. Because I quote, it's amazing how Nathaniel Hackett looks like he knows how to call plays now that Aaron Rodgers is back there. And he wasn't even trying to be mean. He was just making an honest like observation. I was like, oh, fuck that. That is funny and it stings a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a correlation there or it's just the greatest coincidence of all time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not a Hackett guy. It doesn't matter, you know. If Hackett and Rodgers are on the same page, that's all you really care about. And they look like they are.
Yes, they look in sync. It just in a year where we have not seen a lot of good offense, that was really, really watchable offense. I know they didn't score a ton of points, but they put together really nice, like sustained drives. Now, I wrote this down, but the Braylon Allen Breece Hall duo back there is we don't even have one good running back.
I know. Yeah.
And they've got two excellent ones, it looks like.
Yeah. People are asking if you're wearing pants, Will. They want to know. Will had a root canal this morning, everybody.
Thank you for violating my HIPAA rights. Yeah. Thank you.
He's playing hurt. I just want to let everybody know he's playing through a mouth injury and he's got to talk now.
Yeah, I can't eat anything. It sucks.
Yeah, I should have asked if I could expose that you were getting canaled, but
it'll be the first time I got canaled.
You got Dave Canalist in your mouth.
Yeah,
but Braylon Allen, Breece Hall. Yeah. 55 yards,
yeah, they're good.
54 yards. Okay. And Braylon Allen actually better yards per carry. So, and Aaron Rodgers tied with the longest run with the Jets at 11 yards. So, you know.
Yeah, he looks quick. It is, I mean, we did that video on the Achilles quarterbacks. And so far, Rodgers looks more mobile than Kirk Cousins.
He does. I think it'll take a bit for Kirk. His injury happened later. This is a good question. I'm going to save it for BenchwarmerBran, who is on deck. But before I bring him in, just let me remind you guys, today's show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. You got to use my code. That's good. If you don't use my code, fuck you, is what we like to say here. It's the only code you should ever use. And this week, all right, this week I did something, Will. Let me show you what I did. All right. What's the story? Bo Nix, no touchdown passes. Caleb Williams, no touchdown passes. Jaden Daniels, no touchdown passes. Well, they didn't have a touchdown pass option for Jaden. So I just went higher on his yards, okay? And then I went higher on Bo. I think Bo's going to get his first touchdown pass. And then they put Caleb at 1.5 passing touchdowns. I was like, no way he's getting 2. Yeah, but I believe Caleb could get 1. So I went lower on 1.5. I am doing the all-rookie quarterback stack here on Underdog. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. If you guys want to probably hit on this, I would do something different, do the opposite. You know how it goes when I make those plays.
I like it. When everyone's zigging, you're zagging.
Yeah. But code that's good. Link in the description. Now I will bring in a man I have wanted to talk to on this show for a long time. I've talked to him in real life once. Let me change that background. I actually hit the wrong button. Oh, and it's the wrong setup. And it's still the wrong setup. There it is.
There we go. What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
Oh, been better. That was a painful watch, but we're here,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
How are you feeling about your Patriots?
It's kind of just like the the bubble burst, like this was what we expected coming into the year. And it was like first 2 games. All right, we beat the Bengals, who now you can hindsight say, yeah, they start slow every year. What big deal? And then, you go to OT with the Seahawks, and that was competitive until they ran over us in overtime. But now it's just, it is what it is. The Jets seem to hit their stride in this game as well, so that just wasn't good timing for us. Rodgers looked better than he has all season to this point. It's the best defense we've played so far, so we've got some work to do, but we knew that, right? We knew that coming into the year, so it's all right. Just keeping the faith.
I'm a little annoyed because I thought the Patriots were going to be bad. Just based on like the same way I thought like the Broncos are going to be bad. They're in such similar situations. And then they kind of overachieved those first 2 weeks. So I thought this game was going to actually be good. I thought it was going to be a little more competitive, at least for like a half. And then maybe the Jets pull away. I, like a real idiot, picked up Hunter Henry for fantasy because he had a nice game, and I was like, I need a tight end. I think he's going to be reliable if Jacoby keeps playing. I like this. Veteran QB. He's going to rely on that tight end. I might have dumped Tyler Conklin in the one that I.
He had about 97 catches today.
Yeah, I think he led in receptions for the Jets.
Bro, well, my buddy texted me. He's like, I am going to see Tyler Conklin 15-yard scramble routes in my sleep tonight. I'm like, yeah, that is just every time Rodgers extends the play, it's just conk, over and over again. So I get it. I get the sentiment.
Were you how'd you feel when you saw Drake Maye coming in? Get the football loins tickling a little bit, even though the situation was terrible and impossible?
There was part of me that was wondering if that was going to happen if the game got out of hand. And then I was like, you see both sides of it, right? Is this really the best time to do this when this was already a bad line and now it's down 2 starters? So this is the worst version of a bad line that we're probably going to have for this season, injuries pending. So I was like, I don't love that, but I do love, or at least like and understand, getting his feet a little bit wet and maybe making it so, we assume we're going to see Drake Maye at some point this year, extended time, and now maybe there's a little bit of pressure taken off that. It's like, all right, well, I've been on the field now. I got some garbage time, snaps at the very least. So now it's not like the next time or the first time he actually plays, it's not his NFL debut, like all the fanfare. I mean, there will be fanfare, but it won't be maybe as nerve-wracking for him. So I was glad he got his feet wet. I wasn't so glad that, he got twisted up like 3 or 4 times in that one drive. So let's maybe just call some run plays, some screens, some a little less dropping back for him in these situations.
Yeah, it was 2 sacks and 8 passing attempts there. So that's and that's at like the end of the game. You hope
he got more action there than the entire preseason. It felt like.
It was questionable. I was rooting for him to get the first rookie passing touchdown because that would have been really funny if he somehow beat Caleb, Jaden, and Bo Nix to that by finishing off that drive. He seemed like he was getting close. He had the opportunity at least, but then, got sacked again.
Yeah, I can already hear your voice dropping that as a line in one of your videos.
Yeah, I would love to be able to.
Who's your favorite NFL player to portray? Who's a guy you
portray?
Like who's a guy you like leaning on?
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of them end up just being me, but like just in different versions. So a lot of them don't really have their own personality, but then the ones that do, it's very extreme. I think my favorite one right now is probably Amon-Ra St. Brown, just being basically a like killer, like a absolute serial killer mentality, which I don't think is far off from the truth.
Nice.
That's kind of, I kind of took my like Jalen Hurts portrayal and just like upped it to if Jalen Hurts wanted to murder you. And I think, that's what I'm having the most fun with at the moment. Dak's a good time too. People love the here we go, but also it makes my throat hurt.
Oh yeah, that's from his cadence?
Yeah. I basically some videos I'll do it and some I won't, but some videos it's just his every line of dialogue is something that rhymes with here we go, and I'll just say that over and over, and by the time I do, I need lots of water and cough drops.
Nice. Hold on, I gotta see if I can play this clip. when you get a request, you gotta fucking play it. Nope, I gotta switch.
There we go.
We're in GPS now. Where's my guy? There it is.
We ride and we die together.
Probably confusing at this point for people without context.
Yeah, that is Johnny Bolin, son of Pat Bolin. I believe inebriated one night.
I don't know. Let's not jump to conclusions.
I believe. Yeah, it would not have been funny, guys. I was praying that he did not throw that touchdown for sure.
Oh, that's
a
I'm
Brandon
rocking the
sandwich.
Drake Maye. Rocking the Drake Maye. Oh wait, is this? No, this is not the Drake
That's
Maye
Tebow.
jersey. This is a
That's
different.
Tebow jersey.
This is. I grabbed the white because I was like, my Drake Maye jersey is white. Oh no, this is my Zeke jersey. So I'm rocking the Zeke jersey.
Oh, nice.
No one affiliated with the Patriots can do anything right tonight because I was trying to get the Maye jersey. I didn't even look.
Nice.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We love Zeke.
That was just last year, right? Was that just only a year there?
Yeah, it was his only year. I bought it. I don't know why I bought it. It was partially a meme purchase, but partially like he's probably going to play a lot because we have no one else.
Sure. All right.
The running back number 15 is just a bizarre look too.
It is. Every time I
is.
see it, it's weird. Yeah. So, one, I think you guys all, if you haven't, need to check out Brand's channel, BenchwarmerBran, crushing it on basically every social platform, which is really cool.
Trying to.
That's not easy to do. It really it's tough to build on all of those platforms. But I mentioned it right before you came on, but we have such the weirdest connections, just out of I guess coincidence. One, same name, Brandon, same birthday. Found that out last year. I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking bizarre. Yep. And your name for your YouTube channel and your other stuff, BenchwarmerBran. I started a coffee company, Benchwarmer Brew, which I'm very glad I didn't find you before I started it because I would have been so pissed. I was like, there's already a bench warmer out there, doing football humor. I can't do this. And
meanwhile, I just look like
to figure that name.
Yeah, I look like I just ripped off your coffee brand, but hey, it's fine.
I think you were doing it before, but either way, I think we have to get you a coffee blend, and I think we should just call it the Imposter Blend.
I love that. That's perfect. Yeah, and I've also become just a massive coffee drinker over the last few years as well. So it lines up pretty perfectly.
That's in the works. But here's where I think it's even more hilarious to me. So there's all those things, but the videos you make are very different than what Will and I do here. But they're similar. It's a similar style and presentation to what Tom does and what Scooter does. So it's like there's all of these connections, and I'm like, if Tom and I were one person, that would be you.
Right, exactly. You forgot the last connection of we live in the same city now. That was not originally the case. I moved here for reasons obviously other than you being here. I mean, maybe it was for you secretly, but I'm just saying what are those odds as well on top of everything else? But I definitely get the you and Tom kind of super morph thing going on here with me. I get that for sure.
Yeah, your stuff's so good too, and you started at ESPN, right?
Yeah, that was my not my first job out of college, but my first job out of college was a news station.
You were the president of ESPN right out of college.
I was the president of ESPN right away. No, I was a little bitch boy producer at Fox 61 News in Hartford, Connecticut at first. Nice. Then I went to ESPN and was bitch boy production assistant, which to ESPN's credit, I had a great time there for probably the first 2.5 years I was there. And then the last 6 months or so, just, the longer you're at a job, the more they ask from you and the more they don't pay you enough for it. And it wasn't a good time at the end. So that was kind of when, obviously, the reason it came to an end was because I was starting to get more traction with this. And then once I was able to take this whole thing full time, everything changed and it was a great time. Great time. No regrets.
No, I think like you learn a lot by being there, and you learn like what you don't
Yeah.
want to do, which is important.
Absolutely.
Did you interact with any of the big names at ESPN? And if you did, like, who was somebody that was like cool? Like you're like, oh, I'm glad that
Yeah.
person's cool.
Yeah, so a few of them. I mean, I never worked on any of the studio shows, so I wasn't really talking to like Sports Center anchors or anything
Okay.
like that regularly. But one on like a super minor one I had was, I mean, I just talked to Field Yates in the hallway real quick, and he was super nice, as you would fully expect. I played a single, like the ESPN has like intramurals because there's such a big campus. I played a single intramural game with Daniel Dopp from the fantasy shows and all that, so he was super cool. And then, honestly, probably the most notable one was just Jay Billis. Like, I was in Vegas with him and the college basketball crew for like 3 or 4 days. And he was just the nicest guy. I actually did a commercial with him for ESPN, and he like paid for all our dinner one night. Just a really nice dude. And you never know with people that are on air like that. Like, they could have the biggest egos ever and just be rude as shit. And that really wasn't the case with anyone I met, which was very, very, very refreshing.
Yeah, that's nice. I was gonna ask you like who was not nice, but I figured let me take the positive angle here. Let me do the opposite of what I would normally do. But when somebody buys the dinner, that's also a very, very cool move.
Yeah, which I mean, like there was part of me that was like, thank God, because we were at this steakhouse and I was making production assistant money, and Jay Billis is here. I'm not like expecting him to pay for it, but I'm also like, I'm pretty sure your salary's somewhere in the millions, and I am not. So that was very nice.
I like to think he breaks down like every item on the menu, like their draft. 64-ounce ribeye. It's got a huge wingspan.
Yep, and it did some international scouting of it before we got here, and it's really going to bring a really well-rounded game.
Yeah, I've been in that spot before where it's like an expensive dinner, and you're hoping you don't have to pay for it because you don't have any fucking money. And like, I think this is the protocol, and you got to like do the like trying, like, no. What are you doing? Like,
yeah,
yeah, God. When do you think you guys go to Drake Maye? How long do you think? One, how long do you think Patriots fans can be patient? And two, when do you actually think they're going to do it?
It's such a weird situation because like you don't really see succession plans like this too often in the NFL, where like you know that the starter is literally just killing time until you feel like the vet is or the rookie, excuse me, is ready to go. So I don't know. Fans are so crazy that they could be clamoring for him at any point. But I'm also like, we're not going to be competitive this year no matter what we do. Not to like a playoff level. We could maybe poach 4 or 5 games if we're lucky and get our goddamn line together. But as far as when we'll see him, I mean, I think the earliest would be after next week, after the Niners game. And if we throw him out there, provided the line's healthy, I'll be okay with that. Because like the line's going to be bad no matter what we do. But as long as it's not, again, this injured version of an already bad line, it's like we got to get him some reps at some point. I don't think you can sit a guy all year just strictly out of fear that he gets hurt. I mean, there are quarterbacks all across the league playing with terrible offensive lines. Yes, ours might be the worst, but there's certainly many that are not far behind. And it's like you can't play scared like that, and you just gotta get the guy reps at some point, and he will hopefully keep us in some more games going forward. Because right now this offense is I want to stab my eyes out with a fork. Yeah. It's so bad. Other than Ramondre, most weeks except not this week.
It's got to be so weird to be Jacoby Brissett and hear everybody talking about why Drake Maye can't play right now because of the offensive line, and he's just like, oh, but it's fine for me.
Yeah, no, dude, I said that when they named him the starter. I said like how funny that was. I'm like, look, I know Jacoby knows what the situation is, but like it's still very funny from his perspective to be like, oh, I'm here to take the bullets for you, and
basically,
and it's like, I hate to say it, but the bullets, should anything happen to Jacoby, are not going to stop just because Jacoby gets hurt. So it's like it's kind of a lose-lose from playing behind that line. It's a tough situation.
It's like a boxing match, and they're making him go out for the real fighter for the first 3 rounds and just absorb punches. Yeah. So then the other guy can come in and hopefully win. Do you think like the Patriots are just waiting for like one solid game from the line, and they're like, all right, now we can put him in. Now we can do it.
I think so, and I think we kind of got that through like the first 2 weeks of the year, because really the line wasn't that bad the first 2 weeks. It was more that Jacoby is limited as a passer, and our receivers, as we all know, are almost as bad as the line. But like the line itself wasn't horrific the first 2 weeks. It was really bad tonight. So it's like now, okay, was that just... It's on prime time. There's going to be more eyes on it. So it's like, okay, was this just because of the injuries? Because, I mean, you wouldn't think an injury to Vidarian Lowe and City So are going to, really destroy a line. But apparently they are just the most important pieces of our line, because they took us from halfway competent to turnstile for the Jets defense.
That's right. They had to, I saw an injury report. I was like, oh, shit, they're missing a couple linemen. I mean, when you're also was like, I don't know those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to. I mean, when you're missing 2/5 of a terrible line, it's like, okay, how much worse can we get? The answer is worse. As far as when the Patriots would want to see him, yeah, I think if we get those guys healthy, they put together maybe 1 or 2 games that look like the Seahawks or Bengals, where it's bad, but it's somewhat passable, and we get past this little stretch of Jets and 49ers defense, I think we might throw him out there.
Yeah, it's fun watching rookie quarterbacks not succeed. So you're really missing out on having a lot of fun right now.
I would encourage you to just enjoy
a lot of
every
people
Jacoby
talking
Brissett
shit to you all
game.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Delay it as long as possible.
Yeah. That's
a
good move. As a Patriots fan, like the Patriots have had such a different, I think, NFL experience, like for that 20-year run. But like, who do you look at as like the division rival that you dislike the most as a team? Which is the team that just fucking bothers you?
I mean, like, to bother you, they have to actually be a threat. And for the longest with the Patriots, no one in the division was a threat.
Yeah,
I think
that's
as far
what I was alluding to when I said the Pats have a difference.
Right, because it's like, what team did I hate the most growing up? The Giants. It wasn't a team in our division. It was the Giants.
Nice.
But like out of our division, I think it's still the Jets.
Is it?
Just because... Yeah, I mean, when you grow up in New England too, like I did, it's like your state, even with how bad they are, it used to have a lot of those fans around you. We didn't have any Bills fans around us in Connecticut. We didn't have any Dolphins fans around us in Connecticut, but there were Jets fans and there were Giants fans. So it's like at least you have that kind of regional rivalry of people you see on the day-to-day. And the Jets were the only team out of, our division rivals that actually had like kind of a moment there in the 2010s with Mark Sanchez and that group. So Bart Scott and, that was not fun. But we obviously got the best of them most of the time, so it's fine. But yeah, I would say the Jets.
Those random late season Dolphins wins never really got to you?
I mean, they happen every year. It's like clockwork. So they're going to win in some stupid way. It was super odd. The Patriots just hate going to like warm weather once they're like, it's supposed to be cold this time of year. We're not ready to defrost again. We're going to throw us off our game. But it's the same reason the Dolphins suck whenever they have to play somewhere cold in the playoffs. So I get it.
That's fair.
It is funny you have a division, like teams that are supposed to be regionally grouped, and they're just in 2 opposite climates.
Yeah.
The Dolphins just could not be further away, but they're just technically on the East Coast, so I guess it's fine.
All right. You want to go through our power bottom 5 with us and see if you agree on the 5 worst teams right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. So last week... Oh, is this last week? Yeah. So last week I didn't even have the Patriots in there. I was like, all right, look, because week 1, I was like, they might be the worst team. They might be the worst team week 1.
That is a sad looking logo, man.
Yeah. Shout out Rachel, who designs those all for me every year. But then I took them off because they look good. This week, I'm starting with number 5 as everyone in the AFC South that is not the Texans. Not a single one of those teams have won a game, and I thought the Colts would be competitive. I thought the Jags would be competitive. I didn't think the Titans would, but they're just one Will Levis like mistake every game from kind of being in it. But that's who I have at 5. Any disagreements there, guys?
No, not really. I mean, I think, it's hard to argue when you've got 3 teams 0-2 and they're just kind of letting the Texans dog walk the division through 2 weeks. The Jags or not the Jags, the Titans are a weird one because, like, I said this all offseason. They were a team that you didn't think was good or going to do anything this year, and then they spent like they were going to try to do something this year. And I was like, I understand there's a level of like trying to put some pieces around Will Levis because especially as a Patriots fan, we have nothing around Maye. So like, yeah, cool, make it a little easier on the guy. But like, I don't know. It was they kind of took almost like an all-in approach. And I'm like, you guys are probably going to be ass. What are you doing? So it was weird. And so far they're ass still.
Yeah.
Definitely
all in with like
identity
older
crisis.
veterans too. What was that, Will?
I was saying that they definitely have some sort of identity crisis in Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're not really sure what they want to do.
No. All right. So they're at 5. And then at 4, I did it. Okay? I fucking did it. I put in the Broncos.
Great logo.
It is great.
With the new.
Yeah. Rachel just
Watermark.
updated that with the new news in there. But I didn't want to be here week 3. But the roster doesn't look good. Roster does not look good right now, Will.
Let me tell you something. It looks even worse in person.
Yeah, Will's at the game. Fuck, we didn't even talk about that.
That was the worst game I've ever, maybe the worst sporting event I've ever sat through. I didn't get to talk about this, but I was in the South stands, and there's this guy like probably like 3 or 4 seats over to my left. The whole first quarter is like just trying to get everybody like fired up and like, South stand, stand the fuck up, get up, everybody. And then I noticed I wasn't hearing him for a while, and at the end of the second quarter, I don't think we had scored yet. And I looked over and he was like nodding off asleep.
They put to sleep the hype man?
The hype man fell asleep.
That's tough. That is tough.
No, just a terrible way to spend your Sunday.
That's
but
horrible.
Some things you just have to see in person to confirm how bad it is.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, they're probably too low.
Yeah, I'm being a homer. I don't care, but I got them at 4. And give me your Broncos take, Brand.
Man, I was kind of hopeful. I was kind of hopeful for him coming into this year, and they have been a great reminder to stop paying attention to the preseason. I need to just stop watching the preseason and thinking it's indicative of anything. Because Bo Nix looked good, like all the rookies looked good, and none of them have thrown a touchdown yet. I think it's just not the year. This is another step toward building whatever the hell Sean Payton's trying to build. I will say at the very least, I thought they'd get a little more out of the running backs, based both on the preseason and like on Jalil's performance at the end of last year, and they've just all been nothing, nothing. So it's been a tough
rusher.
Yeah, Bo Nix is the
with what, like 25 yards? Yeah.
It's not a lot. I was thinking of this today because it would have been a really fun. Because I asked you about your, which teams you hated the most. Was there a moment where like the Broncos bothered you as a Patriots fan? Because I felt like when Peyton Manning was here, one of our biggest rivals was Brady and the Patriots because they were a threat, and we always met in the playoffs. Luckily, the Broncos won those games, but like. Did they bother you? And then I was like, man, you know how like it would have been a lot of fun if you had Brady right now and I had Manning right now, and we could make videos about those rivalries instead of me just loathing my team for fucking 14 minutes every week. I was like, dang. I hope Drake Maye and Bo Nix are good because maybe one day we could make a fucking cool hype video and whatever for the week, but.
I know. That would have been great if it lined up a little differently. Did they ever bother me? I mean, yeah, I would say they were kind of similar. No, honestly, maybe a little bit lower on the bothersome tier than like the Ravens. They were both kind of like these adjacent teams that we just met in the playoffs more than I would have liked and lost more than I would have liked to those teams. So But nobody's crying a river for me and all the Super Bowls I got to witness. So like it is what it is.
No. Were you rooting for Brady in Tampa?
I was, yeah. It was mostly about I hated that people somewhat had an argument for 20 years, and not even a good argument, but like being able to call him a system quarterback because he was in the same quote unquote system for 2 decades. I was like, dude, just go anywhere else and win something and they will shut the fuck up. Yeah. And he won immediately, which was awesome. I think,
Howard,
I was rooting. Yeah. I mean, I was rooting for it and I was happy to see it. But at the same time, like when he brought Gronk into the fold and like was
Antonio
just saying
Brown.
and was saying all these things about the Patriots. And I was like, can we fast forward through this real quick? Like, can we fast forward 5 years so you can have your Super Bowl, but then we get back to the point where everyone remembers you as a Patriot again? Because at the end of the day, this is an epilogue. But when you're in the moment, it's like Brady's a buck. I'm like, okay, I'm over the Brady Bucks thing now. Like, let's come back and have your number retired and all that.
Yeah, no, that's a good take. That's a good spot to be in, I think. I put the Rams here at number 3. They're the injury team right now. I didn't think I'd be putting the Rams at 3, but they are decimated. And
the 49ers, they're playing each other this weekend.
I know.
They don't have enough players to field 2 teams, I don't think.
No, they should get to.
What are we looking at?
One super team.
Is that a cinnamon roll in Rams colors? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the cinnamon roll for Rams.
Okay, I was just confirming. Yeah, you want to talk about lines that might be worse than ours? There you go. Now.
Yeah. They had 5 guys, 5 offensive linemen hurt. I don't know if they're all starters or not, but I'm like, that sucks.
I mean, I think a couple of them were.
Yeah. And of course, I took Cooper Kupp in a ton of fantasy on underdog. I was like, he's always here late. I was like,
yep.
And then when Puka had his injury in the preseason, I'm like, I'm doubling down on Kupp. And then they're like, he's out. I was like, that sucks. I was like, but that pick looks smart. And then immediately he hurts his ankle. I'm like, fuck.
It was one of those that like felt too good to be true to me, like because like Cooper Kupp was one of the biggest fantasy risers like throughout the draft season because everyone was like, oh yeah, he's Cooper Kupp, and like Puka's banged up like you said, and then Puka goes down and Kupp gets 21 targets in a game, and I'm like, it feels a little too good to be true that you're just gonna like people who drafted him are just gonna get the wide receiver 1 overall in like the late 3rd, early 4th round of their fantasy draft. And that's not to say I was predicting a future injury for Kupp, but I was like, man, is it really gonna be that easy? Like, were we really all that wrong to let him go in the 3rd or 4th round, and then he gets hurt too, and now the Rams are thrown out? I think us 3 are actually slated to line up out there this week for them. So we need to warm up.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think with the Rams, the biggest surprise is that like their run game hasn't been. I mean, it's not a surprise because their line's hurt, but like we were just banking on Kyron Williams and then is it Corum? That's
Blake Corum.
Yeah, Blake Corum. Had.
Corum.
It's like that's going to be really hard to stop. Well, not without a line.
Nope.
All right, last 2 probably not going to surprise anybody. I got the Giants, 2nd worst team. And then the Panthers, the poor Panthers. I kept them at 2. I was trying to like give Panthers fans a little something, but there's just no way to get around it.
What do we think about the Bryce Young versus Jamarcus Russell worst first overall pick debate?
Man,
I don't know. I still lean Russell.
Yeah, I said that the difference for me, and we only know this for sure through hindsight, it's that Jamarcus Russell didn't give a shit. He didn't try. I mean, he would play, but he didn't put in the work.
He also held out before he ever took a snap.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it to him because of all of that, and because we know like Bryce is trying. He's putting in the work. It's just not working out there, and everybody kind of feels bad for him right now. So that's why I would put it on Russell at this point.
I'm almost like, I think I agree with you still, but I'm almost like, isn't it sadder that Bryce is trying and still achieved roughly the same result? It's like at least Jamarcus Russell was almost just a DNP for his career, like did not even attempt to do anything. Bryce is like, I'm trying, no one's helping me, and now even though people are trying to help me, my confidence is so broken that I don't know what to do. So I feel like it's going to end up being Russell too down the line, just because Bryce is going to get another shot somewhere, and whether he's any good or not, I don't know. But I said in a video today, actually, like, I don't know if I see like a Baker Mayfield, Darnold sort of suck with the Panthers and go somewhere else resurgence. I feel like I see more of like a Mitch Trubisky career arc, where it's like, you're not going to be out of the league, I don't think, but I think you're probably going to have to just be a backup, and then maybe you'll fall ass backwards into some starts somewhere and maybe catch on. But like, I just don't think he's going to be out of the league. So I'll say Russell is probably the bigger bust just because of that.
Yeah, backup situation. I think just like getting comfortable too. He just looks like a guy who's not comfortable on the field right now, and there could be a lot of different reasons for that. And trying to figure that out with the Panthers seems a little impossible right now. So I think for him, it's ultimately better to not be out there playing every week for a while.
I mean, there's nothing to help him right now. Yeah.
No. Poor Bryce Young. But yeah, Panthers, sorry, you are. Now, here's the thing with the Panthers, though. They could look better with Andy Dalton. They might get a nice boost. They might get a boost.
Yeah. I think that ranking's going to change next week. I think the Panthers might beat the Raiders this week. I don't just that new quarterback juice. I mean, we saw what Dalton did. He threw for like almost 400 yards in his only game last year. And am I predicting that? No, but like, it's what we kind of said about the Panthers coming into the year, is like their receivers aren't that bad, and like their line actually kept Bryce clean last week. Bryce was just bad, so they might have a little bit of juice here. They're still going to be terrible and probably finish with the worst record in the league, but like they might win this game.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because I think week 1 their line looked a little dicey. Like they put a lot of money in that line, and week 2 it looked better, and Bryce looked somehow worse. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I think that was mostly why they gave up on him. They're like, dude, you weren't even pressured. What do you do? Why are you acting like you are? Like,
yeah, seeing ghosts.
Oh man.
Yep.
As we've seen, it only takes 5 years to get over that.
Once you see a ghost, they're in your head for 5 years.
Yeah.
22 defenders out there on the field.
The clock now.
Yeah.
See you in 2029.
All right, last thing, and then we'll let you go, Bran. We track our enemies every week here. I'm gonna give you a minute. You can think about your enemy that you want to track for this week. I know the Patriots just played. It doesn't have to be Patriots related. It can be literally anything. So let's start with your enemy in Mel Kiper.
Yeah, well, today ESPN opened their morning show. I think it was Get Up or First Take, who really cares? But the lead debate was, should the NFL ban 2 high safeties? Should they ban a defensive formation? I feel like I don't even need to elaborate like how stupid that is, because like it
was instant too. All the football players and other football commentators were like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Mel?"
It's just it's absurd. It's absurd. It's like, I mean, I guess I was gonna say it's like sort of like the MLB banning the shift to some degree, but I mean, 2 high safeties is like, it's always been a thing.
Yeah, it's cover 2. They call it cover 2. It's too high.
Yeah. Also, like, how would you implement that? How would you define like what a safety is versus a linebacker or a corner? Like, because you could just have a corner play deep and then one safety play. It's just stupid. I don't need to get into it.
It doesn't make sense.
But it's a very silly thing, and it reflects not only the state of passing, but the state of sports media. Ever
since Bran left, ESPN, maybe not quite as good.
You're the dominant.
Dude, I tried to give them a shot to keep me, and they were like, nope, go on your merry way and do your social media thing. I was like, all right, because you guys don't know what to talk about anyway. So
sticking around.
Yeah, I literally asked them, like, do you want me to, like, talk? Because I wasn't working in their social media department. I was like, do you want me to, like, talk to them before I leave? I mean, I just want to, like, see if there's any opportunity. And they were like, no, probably not. I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
Catch you later. Like,
you're good.
You feel better though. Your salary is going to Pat McAfee right now. So
Yeah.
Great. I mean, I love Pat, but like my salary is probably his Christmas bonus. So
yeah,
Christmas
if that
toilet paper.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what Mel was talking about, but I think he missed an opportunity. I think you just get 2 safeties high, and then you play them.
what does that mean?
Mel, I don't
You
know, he's
get
out
2
of frame.
safeties
He left.
super high, and then you make them play, Will.
Oh, that would be good. That would
You
nerf the
don't ban
defenses
them,
for
you
sure.
get 'em high. Too
That would
high.
nerf the defenses. Make them higher, yeah.
I knew it was going to fall flat, but I really thought there would have been at least something.
You threw me with the basketball motion on top of it. I was like, what does he illustrate? And now I get the you were like, this is such a great joke. I'm draining it.
Drain that.
Hang from downtown.
Wait, hold on. Let me fucking show you guys something. Don't laugh at my fucking really good joke. There you go. Just hold on. This is going to make it even worse, which is the best part.
Unbelievable. That was 2 in a row. I missed the first one.
Nothing but net.
Funny thing is he told me to get the camera. I thought he meant for my tricks.
Look at my kid dribbling, huh?
Pretty good.
Only 4.
I'll tell Gino Auriemma to keep an eye because 20 whatever recruiting class. We gotta keep an eye out.
Yeah. All right. Will Nathaniel Hackett on your enemy radar? This was a good one, I think.
Yeah. Sort of speaks for itself, but I don't like it. I don't like that Aaron Rodgers is making him look good again. I feel like they're going to have a good offensive season, and we're going to forget all about the last 2 years of our lives.
Yeah.
And how he really held my favorite team hostage for 15 games. I'll never forget or forgive what he did to us. And I feel like Jets fans know what he was like last year without Aaron Rodgers. Now that Rodgers is back and healthy, he's going to start getting credit. When in reality, he is worse to an offense than 2 high safeties. I felt like we were playing 3 high safeties when Nathaniel Hackett was calling plays for us.
Yeah. And this is the word. This is why this is such a good enemy tracker, because after the Broncos play the Buccaneers, we get the Jets.
Yep.
We get the Jets again. They beat us with Hackett, and now we got to go to New York, and I feel like they're going to beat us again, and Hackett's going to get another game ball, and we're all going to get dunked on.
Yeah,
so
Russell
hard.
Wilson got the game ball last week for doing nothing, and then Hackett's going to get it again for, probably
it might be so bad. Like, I think like Bo's not going to play well in that game, and then to top it off, at the end of the game, it's going to be out of reach, and they're going to throw Zach Wilson in there just to make it even more like, oh, God, what has gone wrong?
Oh, no.
All right. And then I got Bo Nix not throwing any touchdowns yet as my enemy tracker. Obviously, I bet on him to throw it this week, but I feel like if he doesn't throw a touchdown this week, it's going to really start to be a thing that I don't want to hear anymore, and I'm going to have to keep talking about. And specifically, if Caleb and Jaden both throw touchdowns, and if those 2 teams get a win and the Broncos don't, and Bo doesn't throw a touchdown, it's just going to be a rough week. So that's scaring me a little bit.
I would like to throw out, I don't think Alex Smith threw a touchdown until, and I'm checking.
Yeah, we did a video about it. So
he didn't throw a touchdown until week 16 of his rookie year, and that was start number 9.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. It was
Well,
different game. We had a lot more patience.
He had a bad rookie year. All right. You got any enemies you can think of, Bran?
Oh, I mean, I have several. I'm trying to designate one. I think I'll give you my main one, and I'll give you my 2 runner-ups. My main one is just our own offensive line. That's my enemy right now because it is completely crippling anything we can do on the field. And if we just had a league average offensive line, I'm telling you, this could be a scrappy, like, fight for a wild card type of team with the defense that we have. But we sadly don't have that. My secondary one is Jalen Reagor for that ridiculous social media post of the whatever super nice Bugatti, I don't know what it was, Ferrari next to that shitty house, saying that that's what he was on our practice squad. Buddy, you were completely unable to emerge from the league's literal worst receiving core. You are the house, if anything, and the car is, I don't know, hopefully someone from our training staff who actually knows how to do their job well. You are just a boneheaded move from that guy. And then my last one is just, and this is completely unrelated to the Patriots, Derek Carr, stop doing this. No one wants the Derek Carr redemption tour. If you were to roll dice to figure out which, like, out of nowhere NFL storyline that you could have never seen coming was going to be the one that hit this year, Derek Carr's redemption tour, literal last one I wanted to see. Like, absolute bottom of no. This is hilarious, but no, stop.
I like that one. You're right. I don't think anybody did want to see it, but now
no one asked for this. Like, no one asked for suddenly the Saints to have the best offense in the NFL and this eyeshadow wearing doofus to be hitting Michael Jackson moves in the end zone and then getting fined for it. I don't know. I don't need to see that. I'm good.
That's fair. Yeah. I kind of like the Michael Jackson thing.
$15,000 just for pulling on your groin.
Yeah, just a little he never hurt anybody.
Yeah, that also, like, the last celebration I would have expected from Derek Carr.
Yeah, yeah, it really is.
I'm not sure that's Derek Carr.
He's got some anger.
I don't know what exactly I would expect from him. Maybe a Charleston or something. Like, I don't know. What's the whitest thing you could do? The Mike Shaky Gritty, maybe.
Hand. I think you would just go up and shake his hand.
Great job, sir. Great officiating.
And the ball and shake his hand.
And a little too long too. You know, just keep going.
Yeah.
Who do you? Okay, so we talked about this on Clickbait a little bit earlier. Who do you think is going to have the longer run this season, Carr or Darnold? Because they both feel like, they're playing really well. We could have made a case for Sam before the season. Carr, we've seen him play well, but it feels like they're a product of a lot of things going well, and I don't know how long that lasts, but, like, you had to bet on one guy to keep it going.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Derek Carr, just because, like, that offense is so transformed with how much motion they're running and how different they look under Clint Kubiak, and, like, it's night and day. And so I think Derek Carr, as much as he was, he's an easy target last year and is still not a great quarterback anymore at his age, but, like, he never truly, I don't think, bottomed out talent-wise like Darnold did, where Darnold was like, this dude's a massive bust. We're never going to see him do anything again. I think if anybody's capable of at least steering the ship of, like, what is apparently a rebirthed offense, Derek Carr can do that. I think Darnold, I have faith in Kevin O'Connell too to, like, manage a decent offense with Darnold at the helm, but I feel like the Saints have more pieces that you're going to have to worry about for right now, at least. Like, I with the way Kamara's playing and Olave and Shaheed, just so many guys at every level. The Vikings have, Justin Jefferson and, Addison's hurt, Hawkinson's hurt, Aaron Jones is getting older. Like, I just think I'm more compelled by the surrounding weapons in New Orleans, so I feel like I'm just going to bank on Carr because of that.
The craziest part, it's Clint Kubiak as the OC for the Saints, and it's Wes Phillips, son of Wade Phillips, as the OC for the Vikings. So as Broncos fans, we're watching sons of our former coaches succeed in other places, and of course the guy we didn't hire, Mike Shanahan, also we had him in the building, we didn't hire him. So like to see that.
What's Kyle Shanahan doing these days? Is he do you have a good job? Is he coaching a good team? Is he
working at Radio Shack?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't hear much about Kyle.
I haven't either, especially not in February.
Yeah, I saw him in the drive-thru at Arby's.
At a motocross.
It's the Monster Energy tent.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna let you out of here, Bran. You got to check out his YouTube channel, BenchwarmerBran. I will link it in the description. I might have forgot to do that, but I really appreciate you coming on. And you are in Denver. We got lunch. So it was like it was over a year ago. It wasn't just last summer. The summer before. It was like, yeah, it was me, you, and Kenny from Kenny Games, his YouTube channel. We're like, yeah, we'll do this again. Let's meet up. Let's all work on some stuff. And then none of us ever did shit after that with each other.
Nope. That tends to be, I feel like that's the content creator thing. You just tunnel vision into your own shit, and then you look up, you're like, oh, I haven't talked to anyone in a year except myself. My bad.
I mean, I talked to other versions of myself, but does that count?
Exactly. Yeah, it's close enough.
All right. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck
thank you guys.
Drake Maye in your future.
Appreciate it. I hope he doesn't get killed. All right.
Me too. See you, man.
See you guys.
There he goes.
Who was that?
So it's some cereal. I don't know.
Who was I just talking to?
Raisin Bran.
Sub to Brandon.
Yes.
There we go. Oh, wait. That's the wrong video. Link or video. Let me just update that. So that's in the description. What the fuck is this shit? Let's talk about the Broncos real quick before we get out of here too, Will.
Yeah,
we haven't really caught up on our team.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just trying to paste a goddamn link. Thank you. There we go. All right, I'm here now. I'm present.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said it earlier, but such a disappointment seeing them in person and going all the way there, to the point where it's like I think it's kind of soured me on football games live.
Has it?
Yeah, I think so. I love seeing NBA basketball live. I mean, baseball is a great live sport. Football is just kind of meant to be consumed on TV.
Yeah, it's a better experience on TV for sure.
Yeah. And like, sure, maybe that feels different to say if your team's like, I've seen them go out and score like 52 on the Titans as well.
Yeah.
And
that was a good game.
Yeah. But especially when you go all the way there across a couple states to score 6 points, like, Jesus.
Yeah, and there's just like that was a bad game to go to.
Yeah.
And I was at that Colts game, which started all of our new worst, so like I get it. Like I was in that same thing. Yeah. Like, why did I come here for the game?
It's such a hassle too.
Yeah, it is a hassle. And now the Broncos are in a spot where they're starting to get, banged up off of yet. And I think that's kind of what we're waiting to see is like something you can be like, oh, that thing's working pretty good. Yeah. You say Zach Allen has been their best player.
Yeah, he's been incredible.
Which really, I guess Aaron Donald, you could say it's all right if you're saying a defensive lineman's your best player.
No, I think that's a good thing. Like, I mean, you want your quarterback to be your best player, yes. Generally speaking, as he is the most important.
Second to him, I honestly think it's punter Riley Dixon, though.
I don't think you're wrong. Like, in terms of just doing your job, Dixon's been fantastic.
Yeah. If your punter's in your top 5, you're fucked.
All pro punter so far.
I think you're screwed.
It feels like punters and kickers have gotten so much better this year, doesn't it?
They've been on. All except Justin Tucker. It's been a reversal of roles.
Well, he went woke this offseason.
He got too woke, so now
he must go broke.
He went too woke and he got too conservative. He did them both.
Yeah, well, if you go too conservative, you might never miss, as we're finding out in Kansas City.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know which way to go. But 73 field goals were made last week. They said this during the game. That is the most in a week in NFL history. So
seems to coincide with the lack of offense.
Yeah. I don't think I'm jumping to the Jets. Sorry.
Yeah.
That
might make a good video. Why is kicking gotten too easy?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if we could find out why.
If you can actually find an answer to it. Yeah, Pats did get cooked. Yeah, we're trying to give everybody – we need a reason to believe. We need a drive. We need a series or back-to-back drives. We just need a throw. We need fucking something to be
we
like –
thought we had the throw there for a second. We thought we had the drive. We had the flea flicker.
Yeah.
And 2 plays later, whoops.
Yeah, and honestly, like the flea flicker is hard to hype up too because –
yeah, I know. It was underthrown and everything.
For a throw. Yeah, I'm not even saying it's underthrown. Just like he's out there. He has all the time. Like it's just like it's a thing. And I'm not saying he hasn't made good throws, but like not enough where I'm like, okay, I believe in it. And I think he'll get somewhere. I don't know if he'll get there. I think we have not seen his best play as an NFL player. I think he will get better. I think he will progress. I think we are overreacting a little bit. And I think a big part of that's because so many other things are not going well at the moment. So it's just like, if Zach Allen, Riley Dixon, who would you say is the third best player right now?
I mean, I'd still put Surtain out there, even though he gave up a couple to Pickens. Jeez.
Yeah.
Hard to say anybody really on offense.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
And, through the first 2 weeks, a couple things happen with teams, right? Some teams overperform early, like we just saw with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then come back down to reality. Other teams, it takes them a week or two to put things together. And I'm hoping that's maybe what the Broncos are. And by putting it together, I just mean play football where they score a couple of fucking touchdowns consistently. Not scoring any sucks. And we've been watching it for 8 seasons now. I was thinking about that on my walk. I was like, It's been 8 years of watching bad offense. That takes a toll on a man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and when you thought it couldn't get worse, like it feels uniquely bad this year.
Yeah. I was promised some tuds. I need some tuds.
Yeah. Well, at least the schedule gets easier. We've got Tampa Bay, the Jets, Raiders, Chargers, Saints, and then we get Carolina.
There we go. And by then, Andy Dalton's probably going to be humming.
Yeah, he's the Red Rider BB gun will be fully greased up.
Yeah, he'll be a two BB shooter at that point.
Smoke coming off the barrel.
Maybe classified as a pellet gun. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we'll see what happens this weekend. I don't have high expectations, obviously, but maybe they'll surprise us. That's where I'm at. Maybe they'll surprise us.
Yeah, well, we get to see the orange uniforms for the first time. Is that exciting?
Finally, on the road in the heat, just like we wanted.
Okay, can I make one last complaint about home opener? Home opener, you have to wear orange.
Put on the orange.
Wear the orange. They go, we want to force the Steelers to wear black. It was raining. It was raining in the second half of that game.
That's some dumb Sean Payton shit right there.
Everybody in the stands is wearing orange. You got to be wearing orange too.
Yeah. I don't know how many games have been won because the opposing team is a half a degree warmer than you.
Yeah, it's George Costanza level thinking.
Oh, it is. We're going to make them wear Gore-Tex under their uniforms too.
Gore-Tex.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's a fun thing to complain about, I guess.
Yeah, it made it worse. If you go out there and score 6 points, but do it in orange.
Yeah, please do it in orange.
Yeah.
All right. We've made it through another episode of That's Good Sports Show. Will Keys, you can find him on Twitter at Guillermo Yaves.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where you can find me. Good night.
And God bless Bo Nix.
John Elway played his entire career with